All right, everyone. Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're wading into some pretty uh, interesting waters, you could say.
Yeah, definitely interesting, maybe even a little murky.
We're talking about modern dating, but not just like, oh, what dating app should I use? We're going deeper. We're talking about how things like feminism and this whole red pill philosophy are, well, kind of changing the game.
Yeah, they're definitely big forces at play. I mean, dating's always been a bit of a puzzle, right? But these days, it's like everyone's working with different puzzle pieces, different ideas about how it all fits together.
Exactly. And a listener actually sent in this article that really got us thinking. It's called, Get This, The Truth About Modern Dating. Navigating feminism and male expectations.
Oh, wow. Okay, getting right to the point.
Right. It doesn't mess around. But it brings up a really good point, which is how feminism has really shifted the dating landscape.
Yeah.
And I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Feminism's all about equality, so of course it's going to have a huge impact on relationships.
Absolutely. When you think about it, feminism challenging traditional gender roles, those old ideas about how men and women are supposed to act in a relationship, well, that throws a wrench in the whole dating machine. I mean, think about it. Who asks who out? Who pays? Who makes the first move? All those expectations are up in the air now.
Right, and that can be, well, confusing, especially if you grew up with those old school ideas about dating. But then the article also throws in this whole other side of the equation, male expectations. What are those all about?
Oh, okay, so that's where the red pill philosophy comes in. Now, it's important to say right off the bat, we're not saying this philosophy is the be-all and end-all, but it's definitely out there, and it's often framed as a reaction to the changes that, feminism has brought about.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely heard that term thrown around, red pill. But honestly, it always sounded a bit, well, intense to me, like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Haha. Well, you're not wrong. It actually comes from The Matrix, that whole blue pill, red pill choice. Remember, blue pill, you stay in blissful ignorance. Red pill, you see the sometimes harsh reality. And that's kind of the whole thing with the red pill philosophy. It claims to offer this raw, unfiltered view of dating and relationships.
Okay, the Matrix reference, I get it. But what exactly is the harsh reality they're talking about? Like, what's their take on all this?
So they'd argue that the traditional dating script, man pursues, woman is pursued, all those classic roles, they'd say that's gone out the window and it's left everyone confused. Men are unsure of how to act, women have unrealistic expectations, and it just creates a lot of tension and frustration.
So basically, they're saying feminism has made dating harder for everyone.
You could say that's one takeaway. They'd probably also talk about hypergamy, which is like this idea that women are biologically wired to seek out partners with higher social status, and they might argue that, well, feminism has just made that even more pronounced.
Hmm, interesting. Although the article keeps using the word truth when talking about dating. Like, it's the truth about modern dating, but isn't truth a pretty subjective thing when it comes to relationships?
Oh, 100%. What one person sees as the gospel truth in dating, someone else might completely disagree with. Everyone brings their own experiences, baggage, expectations, all that to the table. You can't just have one big truth that fits everyone, especially these days when everything is so, well, fluid.
Exactly. Like everyone's playing the same game, but with completely different rule books. So where does that leave us? I mean, what's the takeaway for our listeners who are out there trying to navigate this whole crazy dating world?
Honestly, I think the most important thing isn't necessarily picking a side. It's not about being team feminism or team red pill. It's more about understanding that both of these perspectives exist, and whether we agree with them or not, they're influencing how people approach dating. Even if you find one side resonates with you more, just knowing about both sides, it can help you make sense of things.
So it's less about finding the right answers and more about just being aware of all the different perspectives out there.
Exactly. It's about empathy,
Yeah.
understanding where other people are coming from, even if their views are totally different from our own. Because sometimes just recognizing those different perspectives, well, that in itself can help us navigate our own experiences a little bit better.
That's a really good point. It's all about understanding.
Hmm.
So listeners, next time you're on a date or even just thinking about dating, think about the forces that might be at play. Are you subconsciously following certain expectations? Or maybe pushing back against them? It's something to think about.